Hey everybody, it is Taylor of Summer Del Sol here. Today's project, I'll be depowering my steering rack and installing my NA style aluminum radiator. Now I do want to emphasize you will need an NA Miata style radiator, as that's what the brackets are designed around, so keep that in mind as you're working on this project. You can build your own for the NB style, but you will have to fabricate a few things. As you can see, my power steering pump and pulley are still attached. Right now I'm just working on removing these. I also have the reservoir still attached as well. You'll want to drain this first, but it can be done the messy way, like you'll see shortly. While going through this, I'm mentally just taking notes and noticing what's going to need bracketry going forward. I'm probably going to want to hang my lower coolant hose to something in the engine bay at some point. I'm going to have to create a space for the air intake as well. So a little bit of fabrication needed, but thankfully nothing a couple of aluminum brackets shouldn't be able to help me out with. Oops. How the heck is there more coolant in there still? With everything loose, you can now pull this bolt out that'll release the pulley. Honestly, I don't really have too much of value to add here. I just don't want you guys to hear me singing. For sale, a used pulley, but it's in mint condition. Bye! No low balls, I know what I have. Oh boy, you guys are gonna love this. Right now I'm removing the reservoir from the actual steering rack itself, and I have some sad hack job plans for this. With this removed, I actually had the first kill from the car in a while. It was nice to actually feel like I was doing something big, once again. It had taken some time. If you don't make a mess while you're working, are you actually getting anything done? That's what I tell myself. Haha, here comes the first of several sketchy parts. I'm actively cutting this line with edge clippers, manual edge clippers, because I don't have anything to cut it with. And I need to reattach this point for looping a janky hose piece to try and just patch this for the time being. Maybe I'll weld it later, not right now. The current plan is to link this part with the upper hose from above and just kind of hope it works. With the pump and pulley out of the way, I now have a little more room to mock up the radiator. Like I mentioned before, you're going to want to use an NA style radiator. You can use an NB, but you'll have to fabricate some tabs as it won't mount directly to the ones provided by Exomotive. How I'm mocking it up currently is not ideal actually. You want it a little bit higher and off the frame as well so it doesn't rattle. If you're worried about hood clearance, just keep that valve cover as a good reference point. Now that we have a general idea of where we want the radiator to go, we can focus a little more on our bracketry. It's a good idea to go ahead and get these rubber grommets in there. It puts up a bit of a fight, but surely I can get this in. Hey, what do you know, I did it. So don't be stubborn like me. I don't know why I thought this was going to be a good holder for this, but just drill the holes out away from the radiator. This just seems so stupid. So stupid. But, I mean, it worked, I guess. Ugh. Once you get the holes drilled to the right spec, you can go ahead and mount the brackets to the radiator. If yours is like mine, have fun, because the hardware is tiny, and even with my small hands, it was a nightmare. Now, to properly mock it up, I definitely recommend saving both yourself and your poor mom the time and frustration of just trying to hold it in place. Find a box and just prop it up. It's going to be so much easier. Before I set any drill points, I also wanted to make sure my air intake gave me plenty of room to decide where I was going to put this thing. In theory, it of course should have fit, but can't hurt. Of course I did that on the day I looked like garbage. Still figuring out what the heck to do with this big old thing. Slap an air filter on the end and aluminum bracket and call it a day? Okay, now that you have your radiator mocked up for the third time, with the tabs and the air intake attached, you can now really get a feel of where you want to mark those positions. Box to prop it up on, not pictured. I don't want to talk about it. Nope. So I'm not over it, but I will talk you through it to the best of my ability. I chose the top markers, the ones that were the largest size there, in order to raise the radiator as much as I could. Mine kicks toward the center a bit, but that's just my model, so your spots might be different. Once they're drilled out, you can rivet this in to the best of your ability. I think I need to invest in some of those wrist grip things because I am weak. This took so long. I hate every single rivet, and I'm just so glad I got the steel floors. It's the worst. There were only 3. Took me this long to do 3. How was I going to do a whole set of floor panels? Yikes. If you can, get the air-powered one. Trevor, thank you for letting me borrow this. But I was struggling.
Yes.
You gonna tell me that wasn't even the 3rd one? Jeez. I won't make you watch all these, but do the other side too. Nightmare. You can see where I filled a gap. With the brackets attached, you can now drop the radiator in place. I made mine almost a little too snug. I had to wedge this thing in there, but it fits. It worked. Thank goodness. The things I've done to this powder coat that I never would have dreamed. Oh, it hurts past Taylor. It does. So the plan is to get new ones, but right now I'm just plugging up all the openings with old hoses until the new ones come in. Celebrating 1,000 subscribers! Woo! Thank you for letting me use your bra! Best mom in the world! Woo! Let's make some drinks. Socially distanced drinks. Alright, now with a little more alcohol in my system, let's get to drilling. I swear these brackets are so hard. These drill bits got wrecked. Did I mention I also hate them? 2 packs of these. So many have broken. Well, after entirely too much time and several broken drill bits, these are finally done. But I do require more celebratory alcohol. Now, before you go marking any mounting positions, you want to make sure that top tab is facing away from the radiator, with the long part being closest to it. Those 2 mounting positions up top will be on the square tube, with the other in the back being mounted to the round tube. Once you've found a spot you like that connects to the radiator, go ahead and mark it up. With the chassis locations marked, now you can see where you want to mount it to the radiator. Once again, let's drill out the radiator mount position. Safety first, y'all. Drill out the holes in the chassis. Oh god, this again? And upside down? Come on. Alright, I'm over this. It's time for a series of angry jump cuts. My patience is limited, but thankfully this is a pretty easy install. Oh wait, moments away from a conniption fit, I thought I threaded it, but I had not. Patience was thin. Thankfully, I was close. Yes. And there you have it, the upper and lower radiator brackets mounted to the chassis and the radiator. It's really coming together. I'm getting pumped. Thank you all again for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate you, and I cannot wait to see you next time.